Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee, co-host Raina. She's here for her snack of the day, which is little bits of love, chicken and sweet potato flavored treats. So today is Tuesday, so happy Tag Tuesday. Of course, we're going to do a tag today. And this one is called the Trick or Treat tag. Now, I don't have a Halloween costume on, but I did wear all black. And I don't know if you can really see it, but on my scarf there are some skulls. Oh, here we go. You can see that one right there. So yeah, that was the best I could do on short notice, you know. But anyway, this original tag was created by Heather at Heather Reads and by Meg at Books Off the Beaten Path. And I was tagged by Pat at Book Chat with Pat. And here are the prompts. There's only two, and they're actually brilliant in their simplicity. The first one is called Tricks, and you have to pick 5 books which you have read that did not turn out to be what you hoped for. Like getting candy, but it's not the kind that you like. Tell us the reason this book didn't work for you. And as you can guess, the second prompt will be treats. So we'll be doing the opposite. But anyway, let's start with these tricks. Well, I just finished this book, and it's, of course, at the bottom of my pile, right? Without dropping them all over the floor. Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. I finished this just maybe a week or so ago, and just no. It's not a great book in my opinion. There were a lot of problems with the main character, who was a child, but seemed to conveniently kind of grow up when needed, and then maybe remain a more innocent child when that fit the plot. So yeah, and it wasn't a good plot, even, despite all of that. So definitely not a book I would recommend to others. So that one was a trick. Likewise, I would say almost the exact same things about this book, which I read last year, sometime in the middle of the year, Middle Tide by Sarah Crouch. Also not a book, unfortunately, that I would recommend. It is a thriller, mystery, suspense, so it seemed right for me. I ordered it through Book of the Month, and it was a debut book for this author. I thought it would be a good one to review on my channel, but actually when it was time to review it, I was at a loss for words because, it just kind of fell flat for me. So yeah, another one that I wouldn't want to recommend to anyone. And now this one also for a trick. I famously wanted to read this for a very long time. Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein. I always thought it sounded like a cool book about a Martian coming to Earth. I had never read anything by Heinlein, and I thought, wow, yeah, perfect book to read. It's okay, but this is the uncut version, for one thing. It's over 500 pages, and to me, it's just a little too long. That's one problem with it. But also, it's a weird story. The premise is good, but it's a weird story, and it reaches a point where it just collapses into its weirdness. I don't know. There's just no other word for it. So yeah, if you do read it, try the more condensed version. And if you like that, hey, go for it. So next, I'm going to say basically the last several books in the K. Scarpetta series. And this is one of the last ones that I've read in the series, although there is one or maybe even 2 now that have come out since then. I'm not even sure. But we're at around 30-ish books in the series. And I think we might be talking about here a series that has run its course. Its best days are behind it, I think. Um, I will always read them because I'm a big fan of Patricia Cornwell and the Kay Scarpetta series in particular. But even I have to say it's time to wrap it up. So, yeah, I would say the last few books, just not as interesting as, when she first got started. So, speaking of wrapping up a series, Holly also, I think, has run her course. This Never Flinch by Stephen King came out this summer. I think I've had enough. I don't know about anyone else, but I haven't even read all of the Holly books, and this is it for me. I don't think I'll read any of the others. So yeah, I read a few of them. I know the gist of the story and of the series, and there were some really good ones in there. I thought Finders Keepers was an excellent book, but Never Flinch just didn't do it for me. So now we're going to go on to the treats. And now with these treats, it says pick 5 books that you have read that were the best reading experiences you've had. I'm going to kind of just qualify that a little bit. And I'm going to say the best that you've had within the past few years, because I could go back years and years and years and years and years and, name books that impressed me. But yeah, let's stick to things that are a little more current, but that I haven't maybe talked about previously on the channel, or at least not to much of an extent. So the first one I'm going to mention is Boy's Life. It is by Robert R. McCammon. Now, I listened to this book on Audible back in 2019, still a few years prior to my starting a channel, and I did not know anything about this book when I ordered it through Audible. I wasn't even sure it was anything that I was going to like. I'm not even sure how I selected it. I'm thinking maybe it was suggested to me based on like something else that I had, said that I had enjoyed or I had ordered, whatever. But I mean, holy cow, what a great book. I actually ended up listening to it twice, one right after another. Because that's how good it was. I wanted to hear it again, make sure I hadn't missed anything. Because, when you're listening, sometimes it's a little bit different. Now, if you've never read it, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it other than it's magical. I don't really even know how to describe it, but it takes place partly in the main character's imagination, which is kind of amazing. It's a coming of age story. It's humorous. It's sad in some places. And yeah, I mean, it's just great. I highly recommend that book, Boy's Life by Robert R. McCammon. And in a very similar category, actually, I would put the book Stay by Catherine Ryan Hyde. This is another book I listened to on Audible. Again, not even sure why I picked it out of any other. It wasn't recommended to me by anyone that I had known that had read it, but I loved it. Another coming of age story, and this one has a young boy as a main character, and he befriends an elderly woman by offering to take her dogs out on runs with him through the woods. And he begins to find out, different things about this woman and about her life. And it's just amazing. It's another one that I would highly recommend that, I don't know, you may or may not have ever even heard from. Excuse me for a minute. I need a sip of coffee. Throat getting dry. Okay. So now for my third one. I'm going to pick Sparring Partners by John Grisham. This I listened to on audio in 2022. See, I used to listen to way more audiobooks. It's 3 short stories. The first is another installment in the life and times of Jake Brigance, who is the hero lawyer, I'll say, of the book and movie A Time to Kill, famously played by Matthew McConaughey in the movie. And it's kind of an odd story in a way because it's really good, but it just leaves you wanting more. It feels something more like kind of an outline or the beginning of a really great story. I love Grisham's character of Jake Brigance. So, I basically like the story, but I do wish Grisham would develop it, into a full novel. It would stand up to that, I think. I think it could take that. And then the next story in the book is called Strawberry Moon, and it's just simply a story of the last night in a prisoner's life prior to his execution. He's a very young man who was essentially in the wrong place at the wrong time and was tried as an adult and was sentenced, to the death penalty. It's a great story, and it really makes you think. It really does. Then the final story in the book is the story that's actually called Sparring Partners, and it's terrific. It's got some humor to it, just some really odd things that happen in the story, and it has a brilliant twist, I think, at the end. So yeah, the book Sparring Partners, which you hardly ever hear about again, does have some treats in it. So yeah, I would suggest that one for Grisham fans if it's one that maybe you've missed over the years. Next, I'm going to talk about a book that I just read a couple of months ago, and that's This Tender Land by William Kent Kruger. I was, I had no idea what this book was about when I picked it up. I was just trying to clear out some of my books, before purchasing more. And as soon as I started this, I knew it was going to be a winner. The only other book that I had ever read from William Kent Kruger was one of his mystery series, and it was called Red Knife. It's a series that he has about an investigator and, this kind of thing. But This Tender Land is very, very different. It's a coming of age story. It's heartbreaking, but it's also humorous. And yeah, it's definitely one that I can say I highly recommend. Now, lastly, I'm going to talk about the book that I'm reading right now, and that is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I'm just about done with it, as you can see. I'll probably finish it tonight. It'll be probably my, final finish for October. And yeah, it's incredible. What a great story. This is a young adult book. It is a banned book. In fact, it's one of the most banned books. It was in the top 10, I believe, on the 2023 list, and maybe on the 2022 list as well. It's a great, coming of age story with a really offbeat humor. It has great characters, and yeah, I'm loving it. So I'll definitely do a full review of it as a banned book on my channel very soon. So that's it. Those are my tricks and treats of the past few years. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please stay safe and enjoy your Halloween. Let's do one more snack for the road, and have a great day.